Everybody has still feasting on the turkey carcasses or what left. If you had turkey or if you had hen, duck, or whatever, I hope that you're still enjoying the holidays with the family. Shigai back again. Adolphus AD Moore in the corner. We're alive and got to deal with a Texans loss. I thought we probably would be dealing with a victory today, but Texans goes down to the New York Jets. As I think tweeted out, one of them was a 2-18, but you wouldn't believe it. The other one acted like a 2-18 and become a 2-9 team. So the Texans go down to a loss to the New York Jets today. Before we get started, I would like to take just a few seconds to remember a great human being, a Hall of Famer. Curly Cup passed a couple of days ago, and to just like to pay tribute to this man, this Hall of Famer. I happen to be in our fraternity brothers. So I just like to just take a moment and give my condolences to his family and to all the friends and those that from that Love You Blue era. They're getting down to a number, but the man of unique skills, personality, great personality, and just want to extend to the family and all that Curly Cup fans and just say extend my condolences and just say Godspeed and God give comfort to his family. But as they say, life has moved on, and as we move to this thing now, as I mentioned earlier, the Texans, we thought that they were going to get on we thought they were going to get on a winning streak. They won last week and won on the road against Tennessee. It's sort of I was trying to figure out, are they going to parallel the Houston Rockets? They've been struggling. They got their second victory in overtime. So I'm thinking, Tyrod, was able to get it going last week. And in fact, they jumped out, was looking pretty good for a while there. Tyrod, with his arms and with his feet and his arm, was able to give the Texans some security. But then the second half was just like, as I stated earlier, one was a 2-18. They're both with two and 8 teams coming into this contest. One of them walking out 3-8 right now, and the other's walking out 2-9. But without further ado, I'm gonna bring my man in, Mr. Andre A.J. Jones, and we're gonna just chop this bad boy up and try to figure out, Andre, quickly, your quick thumbnail assessment of this. This was a game of two halves.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's the proverbial tale of two halves. So that's what it was.
Obviously, the Texans. I mean, there was some adjustments made at halftime, and the New York Jets came out and had two significant drives. One was a 7-minute drive. The other was a 6-minute plus. In fact, if you sort of look at it, they would have, if they would went back to back, they would have pretty well consumed the whole quarter. And in between that, the Texans was just a futile effort in the second half. Adjustments was made. It just only looked like one team made the adjustments, and the other one looked like they didn't even look like they just took 12 minutes off. I wonder whether he was just standing in the corridor watching the United States Marine drill team and their precision drilling at halftime, because it didn't look like they made the adjustments at halftime the same as what the New York Jets done, Andre.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, and that's the thing that everyone wanted to talk about a whole bunch of other stuff. And one person asked the question, given Coach Culley's background on the offensive side, he's been a quarterback's coach, he's been, assistant head coach and all those kind of things, but more offensively focused. Was there any thought to him taking over the play calling? Because again, not enough people are talking about the fact that the one holdover from the Bill O'Brien era is Tim Kelly. And give me a season now, not a couple of games here, not a game there, where Tim Kelly's play calling has been like, wow, bro, you really did your thing for a season. Here's Kelly, who's experienced, Tim Kelly, who's not. His adjustments in the second half to the adjustments that the Jets made were ineffective. And there's no way to keep getting around that his adjustments are ineffective when other teams make adjustments to the things that work for the Texans.
And couple that with the fact that the adjustments that they're made, and in fact the Jets running game in the second half, that was the big difference. I mean, they started churning. They basically took the ball out of Zach Wilson's hand and put it into the running back's hand, and they churned up the Houston Texans defense. I mean, we've seen this defense really just hang in there, hang in there, hang in there. But it's only so many times you're gonna keep your back to the wall. It's only so many times that you keep asking for this defense to say, all right, go in there and pull it out for us. Well, there was a 7 minute and I think 7 minute and 2 second first drive that got them ahead, and then they had another drive for 6 minutes and 20 some seconds. And I'm sitting there going, and both of these were 10 plays plus drives.
Right. But you and I both know, we've heard this adage before. Sometimes the best defense is a good offense. Coach Cully said that today, that we can't keep keeping our defense out there so long. What does he say? What does that mean? The offense has got to go on sustained drives, just like the Jets offense did, and that gives your defense a break. Let's go back to that Buffalo game. The defense held in there and held on as long as they could, and then after being out there too long because of turnovers and 3 and outs and what have you, then you can only wear them out so long before they're gonna give out. Look, they sacked Zach Wilson today. The defense sacked Zach 4 times for a loss of 36 yards. But then they were out there too long. They were out there on those long drives, and they gave up points. But the offense didn't respond with points. And yeah, there was some penalties and things like that, but those two got to go hand in hand. I mean, I'm not trying to lay all the blame at the feet of Tim Kelly. I'm not. But for some reason, he is being interestingly overlooked in all of these finger-pointing situations where it was Coach Cully not knowing what he's doing, or the decision to sit Justin Reed and discipline him and what have you. It's like, Justin Reed don't play offense. Justin Reed didn't go through all those 3 and outs and what have you. And then we heard one of our colleagues say, oh, well, Davis Mills couldn't have done much worse in this one. No, this wasn't a quarterback issue. This was play calling, consistency, and adjusting to what the defense is doing to you in this half, not what they did to you in the first half.
Yeah, and case in point, the Texans had a third and less than a yard, and for the life of me, that play that they call, and I'm sitting there trying to go, why are you running wide? And you basically went to the strength of the Jets defense. Those guys up front are like big mastodons, and they reacted like, oh, good, you're going to take your time instead of trying to pop it in there and get it over with. You're going to give us room to react, and all you needed was less than a yard?
Brother, my point exactly. You went into the teeth of that defense with a play that more could go wrong on than could go right. And just, okay, well, the blame falls on Coach Cully, which it should. You're the head coach. Captain goes down with the ship. But who's calling the plays? And he said that today. He said, Tim is my play caller and will continue to be. Well, guess what? Tim's got to call better plays. Tim's got to make adjustments to the adjustments. I'm wondering how much Tim is listening to Pep Hamilton. I mean, are they communicating effectively together?
It makes you wonder on the 40-yard pass to Brandon Cook, that the one that hit him on the seam route in the first half. I mean, beautiful pass. Tyrod laid the ball up there, a beautiful pass, but we didn't see them go down the field too often, did we? Either we saw these little short little dink dunk,
right?
And the thing about it, nobody. I mean, let's face it. The Jets basically didn't have to. They basically just played it with the 4th down lineman. The Jets basically backed up their linebackers and their secondary, and they backed up because Who is it that the Jets had to really? I mean, from a defensive standpoint, who did the Jets really fear today?
I'm listening. You tell me.
My point exactly. I mean, you got to make it. If you want to, you got to make that whole field become your oasis, and
Yeah.
we didn't.
Yeah.
And Tyrod got out there. He broke off a nice 30-yard scramble,
Right.
but the end result of it, we lost after he made the 30-yard scramble. I think we lost just about all of that yardage back in about 2 plays.
See, and that's the thing. That's a play. That's not a drive. That's not a series. Because look what happened in the drive and in the series. So, you brought up a key point, man. If Brandon Cooks burned us the way he did downfield, and remember, they had just missed a wide open receiver 2 plays before that. So they went back to something, and it was there, and the Jets made an adjustment. Keep everything in front of us. Don't let Brandon beat us. Make them have to dink and dunk the ball and matriculate it down the field. And guess what? The Texans could not do that. The running game was non-existent again. You take away Tyrod Taylor's run, and what do you got for a total for the running backs? Nothing.
Did you not just do an emulation of Hank Stram matriculating the ball down the field?
Hey, I got a little old school with my new school, Doc. I'm like Ebony and Ivory in here, old school, new school. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Just matriculate the ball down the field, boys. There we go.
That's one of the best sound bites from those old NFL films there is, man.
Yeah, I'm going like, oh no, he did. He went. You know what, Henry Stram? Hey, all you need to do now is put your little double-breasted blazer on there and roll your program up in your hand and just have Lord Wells standing on the background there somewhere and just go like, way to go, boys. But I digress. I'm sorry, but I couldn't let you get away with that. The thing, I guess the thing that, I guess what sort of got me in the second half today, and folks don't know if folks really realize how we sort of react in the press box up there. We sort of in that second half, I think you asked me something, I looked over at you, and then because it was almost like, darn. Before we know it, the third quarter was over with.
Right. But that's what running the ball will do for you.
Yes.
That's what running the ball effectively will do for you. It will eat up clock, it will wear out the defense, and it puts you in a position to get points. Because whether it be field goals, whether it be touchdowns, it puts you in a position to get points, as well as eat up the clock and wear the defense down. The Texans didn't score except for in the second quarter. That's the only time they scored. They got shut out in the second half by a team that just made adjustments. We're not going to let them beat us with anything big and anything deep. And even after that 30-yard run, what did they do? They started pinching those defensive ends down and coming with everything that they had. And Tyrod literally would turn from one to avoid him right into the other. So he didn't even have a chance to throw the ball away and had big losses after that based on the adjustments from the defense. Now watch this. Where was the let the defense get upfield and you hit something quick in the center where they just left? Where was that? There was nothing to make the Jets pay for becoming overly aggressive from the outside in from this play caller. And I'm not, please hear me when I say, I'm not trying to kill him. I haven't had a chance to go back and break the film down like I typically do. But just from the part that I have in mental memory, it's like, so where did you make them pay for being aggressive from the outside in? The middle of the line was not, penetrable, but when you're coming that hard on the outside, you let some of those other guys come on the inside, hit them with a screen behind that, a middle screen or a quick slant or something to make them leak the back out in the flat where the defensive end just left. None of that was, and that's offensive play calling 101. We didn't see that today.
No, in fact, it's when I'm like you now. I'm going back. I'm replaying the play selection. It was either you used the basically the Jets, all they had to do was defend the boundaries. I mean, the middle of the field, the Texans really did not attack the middle of the field today at all. I don't know what they had looked at in the past, but today, I mean, they basically just took the hash marks and moved and played to the hash marks to the boundaries.
Right. Now, but watch this, AD. After those two big plays in the first half, the Jets decided we're locking this down in the middle. We're not going to even give you a chance to look like you want to attack the middle. We're not going to give you a chance to look like you're going to attack us 20 yards or deeper. And it worked. And there was no effective. I'll try to give him some credit since I done killed him. There was no effective adjustment that worked.
Yeah, I mean, if we got that, because I would like that sound bite with Tyrod up. I mean, if we can play that bite, that because Tyrod was sort of like, I think Tyrod, and to his credit, he didn't try to throw anybody under the bus.
Nope, sure didn't.
But that clip with Tyrod, because we basically were saying, you were offense today, and the question was asked to Tyrod. And if you sort of, when you peel that onion back, if we got that clip coming up, that clip with Tyrod was sort of very telling. There
were a couple of things that were telling in Tyrod's press remarks and in Coach Culley's press remarks that just make you wonder if, again, they're starting to take note of, look at what happened in New York with the Giants. When that press conference from Joe Judge to that next day told you everything that was going to happen that next day. And then it was the Giants have parted ways with offensive coordinator
Jason Garrett.
I'm not saying that's what's going to happen with the Texans. I'm not saying that at all.
Nope, that's
what
not
I'm saying is what I'm saying is that they are starting to take note that, we're not getting any production or adjustments that work made anywhere else. And you're not going to get 30, 40-yard runs from Ty. Wasn't Tyrod Taylor the leading rusher today?
Yeah.
No. Let's see. It was Johnson, 39 yards, and then Taylor, 30, and then Burkhead, 27. But let's look at averages. 3.9, 15 for Taylor, 2.2 from Burkhead. The two running backs that were the prize free agents this offseason, neither one of them is on the team anymore. And now you're telling me that you're going to win with David Johnson and Rex Burkhead?
And you just cut Philip Lindsay. Then you just tell Philip Lindsay, come see the coach, turn your stuff in.
Bring your playbook. And
bring all of that. And come see us. Come see us. Like I say, there's the rhyme and reason why this team is where it is right now. And I know Cully's getting paid. No, yeah, you the man. You're the man that had to stand there and answer the questions. But I guess my question, my question to this is, all right, if you really the man and you the one that's calling, or you the shot caller, then I would like to see, because Pep Hamilton is supposed to be the passing coordinator. What is Pep up at the top looking at, and what is Tim Kelly at the bottom? Because he wants all of his coordinators on the sideline with him. Maybe we need to send Tim Kelly up to the press box and let Pep come down.
And that's why I said I'm curious to understand the relationship between Pep and Tim. Because if there's no real synergy in that relationship, then you are not getting the benefit of the knowledge of a proven quarterbacks coach and offensive mind, who Hall of Fame head coach Tony Dungy gave credit to when he was talking about the development of the quarterbacks under him. He said, I got to give credit to Pep Hamilton. He didn't say I got to give credit to Tim Kelly. Tim Kelly ain't proved nothing yet. Tim Kelly hadn't accomplished anything yet. Tim Kelly was a fictitious answer to the problem of Bill O'Brien not being a good play caller. And then he turned out to be kind of all right. And here we are. But what I'm saying today was a prime example of not being able to make adjustments to adjustments that have been made to you. This is a chess match. And guess what? He didn't see that his opponent was 6 moves ahead of him before he even got started.
Let's take a quick
break. The guys did a good job of competing down the field and making plays. Like I said, we were able to execute those early on. Like I said, the second half of the game, those opportunities did present themselves. Obviously, you like to call those and get things forward with the drop, and just wasn't able to continue to keep the drop. We had an opportunity on the one scramble, paying the yards with the next play. Yeah, just something that we have to clean up and do
better. He as a starting quarterback, he was very diplomatic about it. Period. And you know what? That's what you expect out of your starting quarterback. I mean, I'm not going to throw him under the bus. He's not going to throw the coach.
He's not Aaron Rodgers. He ain't Aaron Rodgers. He ain't going to throw everybody under the bus but himself. I respect him for that. I do.
Yeah. And so he took the diplomatic approach. Now, if you sort of let's listen to what Jonathan Grenard had to say after his, because that Jonathan was basically, I'm going like, hey, what happened in the second half? And he basically just laid it out there.
What were they doing for y'all in the second half that enable them to have those long drives and just keep y'all backed up and backpedaling most of the day?
Yeah, they a lot of big plays in the run game, fits and stuff. Basically, just getting on the perimeter, getting their big guys on our little guys, and just playing a numbers game. I think they executed that pretty well. We had our moments where we stopped and we just weren't consistent enough to knock that out.
How does
that pretty much summarize it?
Loud and clear. Loud and clear.
We're going to AJ. As always, I appreciate you, man, for jumping on. Like I said, I was hoping that we would see a winning streak. The Rockets had still gotten one, and I was hoping that the Texans would keep it up. So hopefully we would. Let's see next week what's going to happen. Hopefully Justin Reed might be back on the field too, because that's a different situation. And we still hadn't got to the bottom of this. We got a lot of conjecture going on right now. And until, like I say, I'm coach's decision. Okay, good, that's fine. But I read what was written.
I heard from an insider, and what was written and what the insider said are two different things.
Yeah, and like you, we have our sources, and I'm hearing something totally different too.
And one of our mutual friends got it first.
Yes.
And what they heard and what was reported, two different things. So we'll see. We'll know more in the next couple of days.
Yeah, without a doubt. AJ, as always, man. I know they're getting ready to. Folks Mr. Gardner is getting ready to pop in here, and I know he's getting ready to go talking sports in about 5 minutes or so. But Chris, you can pop on in here real quick, and as we get ready to wrap this puppy up, you got a little bit more. You got a little bit more. The Rockets, what they had to go to overtime, double overtime to get it done.
No defense whatsoever in that game last night. Made me sick to my stomach. But the Rockets won in overtime, 146-143. So they got a 2-game winning streak. So good for them. 3 wins on the season now. But on Folk Talking Sports, in a few minutes, we're going to talk college football a lot more than talking basketball. So,
Chris, do me a favor.
To digest. Yes, sir.
Chris, don't lie on Willie. It was a rough day, bro.
No, sir.
It was a rough day. Now, see, don't do that. Don't do that. See, that's what's wrong with you right there. Is you a brother? Is you ain't?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about the college football playoff more than that, but because Ohio State lost, Willie can't say much anyway. So
no, they got.
Let me go. I'm dropping off. Look, Michigan finally got one. Bye, y'all.
Yeah.
Hey, AJ.
Appreciate you, man. Yeah.
All right, thanks for the invite, guys. I appreciate the invitation.
All right, man. You take care as always, man. We'll be in touch, man. Appreciate you.
Okay, looking forward to it.
Hey, as always, as we get ready to bring in folks talking, Chris Gardner, did you have to send a special care package up to Willie, man? Is he okay?
He said he's okay, so we'll find out when we talk on the show. But he said he's okay. He answered. He replied to the tweet, so he said he's okay.
Oh, you sure it was him? Not because anybody can grab a tweet. Anybody can grab his Twitter handle and put something in it.
But no, he said he went back to it was the team up north first win over Ohio State in years, so he's holding on to that.
Oh yeah, okay. Hey, as we close, as always, folks, I appreciate you, Mr. Gardner. Appreciate you. As we close it out, thank you. I hope everybody's had a very good holiday, and be mindful of the fact that our good man that I got a chance to know and watch and cover as we mourn his family and mourn with him and his family the memory of Curly Cup, and just say Godspeed to his family, give him grace and comfort, and we appreciate him. I personally, it's personal with me in more than one ways. So without further ado, this is Adolphus AD Moore in thinking about it, the brother Curly Cup. Ciao. I'm out.